Hi, my name is Cheryl McLaughlin with Live and Thrive, and today we are talking about spikes, and more specifically, microspikes. So, what are microspikes? During the fall, winter, and spring season, microspikes are really necessary. They will keep you safe hiking on any kind of ice trails or just regular snowpack trails. The ones I really love are the Kahtoola, that's the brand, Kahtoola MicroSpikes, and they definitely are my favorite. We've had time to test out a lot of different spikes that are on the market that give you traction on ice and snow, and in the 19 years that we've been doing this is the one I have, found that I really love, and no matter what kind of trails we're on, the spikes work really, really well. You can purchase these from me at a discount. They are black. They come in small, medium, large, extra large, depending on your shoe size. I can help you size those. And I sell them at a discounted price for $50. They are regularly $70, and I can do Venmo, cash, or check. But this is how they fit on your shoe. So they have these little spike things that are underneath your shoe. You can slip them on your shoe at any time, and they just give excellent traction when you're walking on more of a snowpack trail or ice trails. And you could have like 3 or 4 inches of snow. If it's soft powder, the spikes would work really well as well. When you have these on your feet, this is what they look like. And so again, they slip on when you need to wear them. But in our Utah winters, you may be faced with just icy trails or snowpack trails or whatever. So this is deceiving terrain right here. People will look at this area down here and say, wow, we're not going to need spikes today. But up here gives you a clue. If there is any snow on the mountain, then make sure you always take your spikes. There's a good chance you're going to use it because it may not be snow. It could possibly just be an ice trail. Again, we use these from October through at least April, lots of times even longer than that. And people have been caught in snowstorms in the middle of July. They would be really helpful to keep with you. They don't weigh that much, only about 11 or 12 ounces. So we strongly suggest you take them with you on every single hike that you go on in the winter. Just keep it in your backpack. It's one of those really necessary items that you should be carrying with you. So that is when you need them. Actually, you need them when you least expect that you're going to need them. Again, lots of times these trails start out dry and then they turn to an ice sheet when you are not even expecting it. Some people get more than one pair. The reason for that is if they have a friend coming to town or you want to take someone with you just on a hike or whatever. And one of the reasons they are so valuable is because you should not have to be thinking about your feet when you are on a hike. You should be able to just look up and notice the beauty and just be enjoying the hike and not wondering if you're going to die in 2 minutes from now or 5 minutes from now by slipping and falling. So if you are focusing so much on the trail and slipping and you feel like you have no traction, that is not good. That'll take away all the fun of hiking. And from my experience, 95% of the time that we are hiking on the trail is when we will be using them. Really, most of the time, you will need these spikes. Some of the stores, it's right now that I'm recording this, it's October, and some stores are already sold out. So I would not wait very long to try to get the spikes. I've had people contact me and say, "Yeah, I need to get a pair. I can't find them anywhere else." And so, not only do I have them for a discount, but I have them available, and some places don't even have them available. You can really honestly enjoy the entire fall, winter, and spring seasons. So definitely do not wait until it's really in the middle of winter because then you really will not be able to get these. Even when you see a lot of foliage and you don't think there's very much snow, just take your spikes. You should have those with you, even at the very, very beginning of the season. And again, if you would just decide, are you going to wear a boot or are you going to wear a hiking shoe? I personally like wearing my hiking shoes year round, and so I get my spikes fitted to the hiking shoe. If you are wearing a boot, it is going to be bigger than your regular hiking shoe. Anyway, figure out what it is that you're going to wear and then let me know that size and I can help you fit that. We also go sledding. We'll hike up and sled down. And we don't, I don't like to ever take snowshoes up with me if I'm sledding down because I do take my spikes off when I sled down a mountain. And so that's another reason why it's really nice to have excellent traction going up a mountain. And then we'll sled down, just put the spikes back in our backpack when we're sledding down a mountain. This friend of mine here is from Bogota, Colombia, and he is loving the snow. So it's pretty cool to be able to take somebody up with all these fun snow sports when you don't get them back in your own country very often. By the way, if you do need a different size, once you get home, once you purchase them from me, go ahead and try them on. Just make sure that that is the size, and they're going to stretch to fit a little bit. So they are a little stretchy. And go ahead and put your shoe on and then put the spike on. See how that works. If it's too tight, then go ahead and bring that back to me. But keep the box, keep everything, and do that fairly soon after you purchase those. Because again, I may not have spikes all the time and there are no refunds. So, and anytime that the snow and the ice is on the ground. Here is another very deceiving trail. Again, this is a dry trail right here, but the fact that there is snow up in the mountains, there's a good chance that we'll be hitting ice on this trail at some point. So the rule again is just keep your spikes with you at all times in your backpack on every single hike. And so when you get into these beautiful trails like this, you are well prepared. Here is another time. Again, we hike or go on walks around lakes. And this is another opportunity where there may not be very much snow, but you come to these sections where it's just ice. And they're very easy to put on. So if you do start the hike and it's a dry trail, at one point you can stop wherever it is when you see a piece of ice and you can tell it's turning to ice or snow packed, then just go ahead and stop, put the spikes on, continue going. If you don't have that, lots of times game over and you have to go back off the trail because it just gets too dangerous. And this is another very deceiving place. There is going to be ice and snow in patchy areas on the trail. And lots of times in the fall, the leaves will cover up the ice. So you will be stepping on black ice, which is like see-through ice. And so that's another reason why you want to just put on spikes. If you see any kind of water or snow, just put on your spikes and then you don't have to wonder if you're going to fall on some black ice. And while you're thinking about spikes for yourself, just think about others who might benefit from a pair of spikes. Lots of times, any type of person, doesn't even have to be an elderly person, but there are a lot of people who are very fearful of going outside during the winter months. They might need to go out and get their mail or shovel the snow or take their dog for a walk or something. All these, take the garbage out. This would really benefit anybody who has to step outside and might be on some black ice or some packed snow or packed down snow. They would all benefit from a pair of spikes and be able to hopefully help avoid a hip or knee replacement from falling. This is another kind of deceiving terrain. One time we were out at Antelope Island. It was very, very foggy and there was ice, patches of ice and snow on the trail. So again, want to have your spikes for things like this as well. And I don't know that they have children's sizes. I don't believe they do. The smallest size they have is a 5 in women's shoe. And also the largest is a 15, size 15 in men's shoe. Again, Just these are the types of trails that we would definitely be using these spikes on. It's so much fun to be able to get outside above the inversion, having those spikes, feeling safe, being able to really enjoy it. There are plenty of other different kinds of spikes out there. Um, some of them have coils and everything, but this has excellent traction with these little tiny little spikes, little pointy areas on the shoe or on the spike itself. So some people ask about renting a pair rather than buying a pair. I may not have a pair to rent. Most of mine all sell out. So I would not encourage you to depend on trying to rent a pair because they really won't be available and the stores definitely don't rent. So just go ahead and purchase a pair. But these are all trails that we would be walking around on. And some people ask if you can wear them in deeper powder snow. Once you get past about 4 or 5 inches of snow, somewhere in there, you really do need to switch over to a snowshoe where you're going to have a lot more snow to walk on. But if the trail has been packed down, it's really packed down well, then you can still wear your spikes. But if you are walking in deeper snow, you are going to be post holing, which means your leg is going to be sinking in the snow. And it's just not a lot of fun. Plus, there is a possibility where if you sunk enough or whatever, you might lose your spike when you're sinking and pulling your foot out. So don't use those, or they shouldn't be used in place of snowshoes. It won't work very well. Whether you go down south into southern Utah or not, there's just any place there's snow, you want to have those available. And that last picture was a picture where, it's going to be dry, then it's going to be snowy. And so you just have to use your good judgment on when to put those on. Again, I take Venmo and cash check. That is my Venmo username back there. And it's an extra couple of dollars with PayPal due to the fees. Text me your shoe size or boot size if you want a pair, and just join our sledding group. It's so much fun. We start everybody out at a fun little park, so you won't be going down a mountain first. We'll get you acclimated in a nice, safe park and see how well you like this. But we have a certain type of sled that we use. Anyway, if you know someone who's interested in joining us on some of our fun outdoor activities during the winter, please share this video or tell them to visit my website. And one other reminder on staying safe, just remember skiing, hiking, biking, snowshoeing, or snowmobiling, or any other type of winter sport, use the buddy system. It's not really wise to go out into the woods, into the wilderness in the winter season, especially. Plenty of things can go wrong. So use good judgment and take a buddy with you. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, be sure and text me. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, don't just survive. Come on, let's live and thrive. Here is another picture I just absolutely love. Utah is the most amazing, beautiful place to play in the winter season. Here's my information. So be sure and give me a holler and go ahead and text me if you'd like. My email, liveandthrive.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you.